Hi there, this is Mark Ashcroft, Assistant Head Teacher at the Wensdale School in Sixth Form. And what I want to do is take you through today how to use our Go4Schools system to get the key information you need for your son or daughter. So let's start off. The main page is go4schools.com/parents. And there you put in the email address that you gave us when you registered your child. If you're a first-time user, click on First-Time User and enter the email address that you gave us initially. You'll be then sent a password via your email, which will then let you access the system. If you've forgotten your password, then just type in the email address that you originally gave us and you'll be sent a password reset link. If all else fails, then please get in touch with us at the school and we can reset your password for you if need be. Now, when you log in, the first thing you'll get is a screen with an overview of your child. If your child's been with us for a number of years, then you can see different year groups over the past back. So you can look at the whole record of your child's progress within school. We've set it up initially that the very first thing you get is what we call a residuals chart. It's a way of showing you whether or not the child is on track in various subjects. Now these are only for GCSE subjects. For non-GCSE subjects, then there aren't any residuals for those. And the colour coding system tells you whether they're on target, below target, or significantly below or above, and it's colour coded. Now I should say at the beginning of the year, that information may not be quite correct as data is coming in at the moment because all the data is live on this system. You get it straight away when reports are put in. So when this guide was being put together in October, that's exactly what staff are doing at the moment. The residuals are calculated by working out how far away the student is from their target grade. So if they're currently a grade 5, but the target is a grade 6, they'll have a residual of -1. So you can see on this screen here, the students got particularly high residuals in English literature and geography, saying they're doing particularly well against their target grade. Now the target grades are calculated using SAT scores and predictive models given to us by the Fisher Family Trust, an independent charity that does work with the government to try and work out target grades about what students should expect. Their targets are their end of GCSE targets and in the top 20% of similar students from similar backgrounds across the country. So we feel that's a good aspirational target for students to enter. We did used to run 2 separate targets, but now we felt better just to have 1 target for students to use. Each year, we take 1 target grade off of that. So in year 7, we've taken off 4 target grades. So the end of year target grade, if you want to know their GCSE grade, add on 4 to that, and then you'll get the target grade we'd expect at the end of year 11. For year 10 and year 11, it's their GCSE target grade that we're looking at. For year 7, 8 and 9, it's their end of year target grade. Remember, it's a guide. And if students want to go higher than that target rate, that's fantastic, but we will always encourage them to try and meet or exceed that target grade. But we know full well that won't always be the case in all subjects because it is set at a 20% level. So on this screen, I can scroll down and start to get other information. So useful information to have the timetable, so you know what your son or daughter are where they're meant to be at the moment. And we can click on the full timetable or just the timetable for today. We've got details on any homework tasks. Now at the moment, homework tasks are all set on Google Classroom, particularly during the COVID arrangements, but in normal circumstances the teachers would set homework and they would appear here, and you should get an email notification of any homework being set as well. Detailed progress underneath. Now I find this is the most important screen here because this shows you the results of any tests, and it also shows what they can and cannot do in all the topics that they're studying for each subject. So here we have the target. So in this case, this is a year 11 student, who their key stage 4 targets, and where they're currently at with each of those. But then you've got a detailed breakdown. So let's go further and actually have a little look into that in a bit more detail. So if I click on any topic in here, so this is geography. So I've got details about the course there, all the assessments and things they're doing, but then most importantly, for the past 2 years, particularly GCSE, I've got whether or not they've been able to do this. So let's have a look at this particular student here. When they were doing in year 10, natural hazards and weather hazards, I could see that overall, that's been mastered overall with that. They can describe the distribution of tropical storms. They know how to explain how tropical storms are formed. Really useful information for me as a parent to know what they can and cannot do. And I can scroll down here. I can see that actually they did a test on tectonic hazards, and that was marked around about a grade 7 on the GCSE scheme. Now remember, the GCSEs go from 1 to 9, where 9 is the highest grade, 1 is the lowest grade. We also have another range of grades from TR1 to TR6, which are grades below a grade 1. So if on our targeting system or the student hasn't quite met a grade 1 level yet, then we needed a grade system below that so that they're on there as well. So as I scroll down here, we can see what that student has done on various things here. And that's really important. I can do that for any subject. So if I want to see how that student's progressing in 1920s opportunities in history, so I can see here what they can and cannot do. And we can see here they still haven't done this yet. So at the moment, that particular student, or this particular student, cannot analyse how a person event was significant considering its short and long-term effects. They haven't quite got that yet. So if I was sitting down trying to look at what that student needs to be revising or working on, I know that that's an area that they particularly need to be working on. Now, when they're just starting a unit and they've just managed some can-do tasks, we call that emerging. As they improve, we call that developing. Once they're secure in the knowledge of that, it's secure. And if they can do everything in that topic, they've mastered it. They are an absolute whiz at that particular topic. So that's really, really useful. So that is very, very useful in being able to see what it is they can and cannot do. And we call those can-do statements. Here's another one here, atomic structure or forces. Here's one here for forces in physics. And at the moment for forces in physics, there's quite a few things that the student can't do yet or hasn't had the opportunity to do yet. So they may not have done that in class yet. But they're the areas, if they're not mastered, then they're the areas where still some work needs to take place on them. It's possible on some of these it will have a U indicated in here if they haven't been done. We're just tweaking a little bit to say that it hasn't been done yet rather than a U. So if I come back out of here, further on down the page I can see the behaviour record, see the behaviour over time, and at the end of every term when we do reports, we'll also have any reports will appear here. So really for you as parents, the critical things are to know where the student is. Are they on target, above target or below target? What are the areas causing concern? And they're really useful to know those. Obviously, we've got the detailed progress. So you can look at the can-do statements and look in more detail about what the students can and cannot do in any subject. And again, we've got these colour coding here to give you an indication about whether the student is on or not on target. If there isn't a grade here, you can see that at the moment that assessment hasn't taken place yet. And as soon as the assessment for that has taken place, then this will be colour coded here at the moment. But at the moment, there's no information for it. So I hope you find that useful. It is a very quick guide, and there is a written guide that goes with this to help you in a little bit more detail that you can use. But if you have any queries or questions about using Go4Schools, then please get in touch with me at mark.ashcroft@wensleydowschool.net. I'll put that on the screen on here, or get in touch with either head of year or the tutor or the teacher for that subject. We hope you find it useful and can explore more information. One last thing is that you can adjust your own settings here if you want to record your daily events and what you actually get. So if you want to get email notifications for various events happening, then you can use that screen here. Okay, thank you for listening, and I hope you find it useful to use. Many thanks.